So Dylan Mulvaney, well, he, she, whatever is getting put to work. Well, she also putting a lot of other people out of work as well. The human cost of Bud Light's $20 billion Dylan Mulvaney fiasco. 2 bottling plants are forced to cut production and lay off 645 staff due to decline in brand for the troubled brand. Man, that does suck. You know, like I don't report on that with any sort of glee. That's 640 people that got absolutely boned because the higher ups just thought, you know what's cool this time of year? Trans. No, it's not. Your customers didn't want that stuff. You tried to say that you knew better than your consumer base, and it blew up in your face. And I'm sure that there's no executives outside of Alyssa Heinerschneid who decided to sign off and create this, and then Daniel Blake, the guy that gave it the green light above them. You know what? Hey, they're temporarily out of work, but we know how this stuff works. All of the executives all know each other. They'll just go and get another job after the summer. They'll be fine. But those 645 people really could have used those jobs. Dylan will be fine. Bud Light probably won't become #1 beer anymore, but it'll ultimately still be kicking around. But those 645 people, they're going to have a terrible summer, all because Anheuser Busch doesn't care about the average person. Case in point. Bud Light sales have plummeted so much that the glass bottling company was forced to shut down 2 of its plants and lay off nearly 650 employees. The Ardagh Group, one of the largest glass producers in the world, announced that last week it was shutting its Wilson, North Carolina, and Simsboro, Louisiana plants on July 17th. The Wilson plant employed nearly 400 people, and the Simsboro plant had 245, all of whom now find themselves without jobs. Man, that sucks. Company did not cite a reason for the closure in a statement, just saying it was part of a multi-year performance optimization program, which if you guys were still creating glass bottles, you still would have been open, but yeah, no, not happening. But an investigation by WRAL found Ardagh was forced to close the plants due to declining sales of Bud Light, one of its major contractors. Exactly. If you lose one of your biggest customers, or if there's a significant downturn in what they need, well, hey man, that's what ends up happening. That's sales 101. One-time beer giant has lost its reputation as America's top-selling beer amid a boycott from both leftists and conservatives. Thank you for finally acknowledging that, okay? Over its partnership with controversial transgender TikToker Dylan Mulvaney in April. Mulvaney, 26, recently slammed the company not supporting her. It's all about me! Why didn't you call me? After I cost your company $20 billion and ended up indirectly causing 645 people to lose their jobs. Unbelievable. This is why. This is why you don't deal with narcissists. This is why you also don't deal with the left. Why am I being redundant? In order to drive home the point. Let them live with the consequences of their ideology, because once you deal with them, you have to adhere to their policies time and time and time again. It's never enough. You can never be left enough. You can never be woke enough. So the only winning move is not to play. Workers at both North Carolina and Louisiana bottling plants have said that they have faced decreased production since Mulvaney's promotion was posted online in early April. April 1st! Well, actually, the first salvo was fired March 26th, but that's all right. Early April's fine enough, right? Both plants were forced to put some of their machines offline amid the decreased demand, which was, of course, being pointed towards the Bud Light situation. James Munhall, a journeyman machine repair mechanic, told WRAL. That guy, he'll be fine. Like, he's got a trade, and that's ultimately, even with, oh my God, everybody fear-mongering about literally everything. That's not something that I like to dabble in, but when you start hearing people saying, oh, AI is going to come in and you're going to take over, the automation, people are going to start losing jobs, and you can see, not even the creatives are going to be safe. You get yourself a skill, you become handy, and if the women don't find you handsome, they'll at least find you handy. Shout out Red Green. You're still going to have work out there. So a millwright like him, yeah, he'll totally be fine. Don't worry about it. By May 18th, an internal memo obtained by the news station company executives said that they would shut down 2 plants due to slow sales with Anheuser InBev. Yes, of course, the parent company of Budweiser and Bud Light. Longtime employees explained the majority of their business was making bottles for Budweiser and Bud Light. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. They said at a meeting inside the North Carolina plant last week, the plant manager told them the boycott was forcing them to shut down. Because of Budweiser no longer selling the bottle, and they no longer needed our product, the machine repair mechanic told WRAL. Oh, David Williams, another one, okay. The beer brand saw its sales drop 28.5% in the week ending June 17th, one of the worst weeks since the campaign aired in April. No, I thought it was the worst. It's a deeper drop from the week ending June 10th, right? It's 26.8. The former record holder until the most recent week. And I'm sure next week's probably not going to be that great either, but more on that, obviously, later in the week. New low beats previous worst, almost 26% drop in the week ending May 25th. So yeah, it's just week over week. It continued, except for that one blip on June 3rd, which was inexplicable. And then also gave Anheuser Busch the bright idea, hey, you know what? Hey, the free beer managed to stop the record-breaking slide, so let's try that again for Independence Day. Like I said, we'll see how well that works into the future. Those declining sales figures apparently exacerbated ongoing supply chain issues at the glass factories. In a February sales call, Ardagh, which is headquartered in Luxembourg, announced that North America saw a 9% drop in shipments and falling revenue. When announced the closures last week, the company simply said our multi-year performance optimization program, which is basically we're taking a look at what our need is, seeing how many people are employed, figuring out how many people are actually needed per machine, per bottle, and you know what, hey, any extra people that are down there that we can get rid of, that's what we're going to do. That's just a fancy C-suite way of saying the exact same stuff. Involving targeted investments and enhanced capacity. It's basically a penny pincher running the numbers. Underpins our ability to continue to provide existing and prospective customers with high-quality American-made sustainable glass packaging. How are you going to be doing that if you're closing down the plants? Oh, we'll just have high-quality American-made sustainable glass packaging made in China or Mexico. Don't worry about it, though. Bidenomics, folks. It added existing customers. Now, will continue to be supplied by alternative locations in the network, according to Rustin Leader. Meanwhile, employees at the Wilson plant say their union is negotiating a severance package while they struggle to find another good-paying union job. So funny, man. Yeah, unions. Go out there and you support Democrats, and then what happens? Well, the Democrat policies, the promotion and the constant validation of trans people. Guess what that ends up with? You losing your job. 6 degrees of separation from terrible leftist policies, right? Good job. Not only are you killing an employee's job, you're killing his family. Well, not exactly, but if the left gets, so much power, well, eventually they'll start killing her family. Stalin, Pol Pot, the old gang. They love to commit generational slaughter. His chances at sending his kids to college. Well, why would you want to send your kids to college anyways? Send them to trade school. But like I said about the guys in the corner offices, they will totally be fine. Former Anheuser Busch executive pleads for current CEO to step down. Had multiple chances and he's failed. Yeah, talking about Brendan Whitworth, who was out there on the interview scene, and hey man, you got a camera stuffed in his face. He'll totally be fine. The best that you can expect is a bunch of people making pleas. Will somebody be held accountable? And just like a group of single women, you don't want to take accountability. Come on, man. The former president of Anheuser Busch Sales and Distribution, Anson Fredericks, he's been very vocal about all this stuff, urges the current CEO of the beer company, Brendan Whitworth, to step down from his position for how he has botched and continues to botch the Bud Light situation involving tranny influencer Dylan Mulvaney. In a column for the Daily Mail, Frederick said Whitworth needs to leave before doing more damage to the brand. And he's like, I don't understand. I just go to different places. They have me on. I don't offer an apology. And I don't know. What else do you want me to do, Anson? What else can I do? All of this happened in the wake of Anheuser-Busch brand Bud Light marketing the transgender influencer, one of its spokespeople in April. It was just a can and just one post, god damn it. Fredericks announced Whitworth botching multiple opportunities to right his company's ship in the wake of the boycott and said that it would be better if the company shareholders to compel him to leave rather than staying and offering more bland responses to Anheuser-Busch current PR crisis. Exactly. Everybody's talked about it. I've said it multiple times over. If you would just come out and say, hey guys, we fucked up. Sorry about that. We didn't think that this would be as detrimental to our brand as possible. We should have listened to you guys earlier. We're just going to go ahead and, you know what, forget that all happened. We're going to move on. even just try to adopt something that you were saying before. I wasn't exactly as open and honest and clear with my original statements by saying that, yeah, we ended up getting political. Didn't think we would. We ended up doing that. Our bad. Let's make it up to you guys by just getting out of the realm of politics. If you would just make something clear to that extent, people would give you a second chance. Not all of them. You'd have to win back about, I don't know, just ballparking it, about 20% of the people that won't come back, but everybody else, yeah, if you just had a little bit more public relations tact, might work out for you. Instead of these, yeah, no, it's fine, we're gonna make beer now, and hopefully the ratios will just stop on the internet, and you guys will stop making fun of us for selling tranny fluid. Just stop it. That's mean, and people are getting hurt because of it. No, people are continuing to get hurt, like those 645 people down there in the South that used to have decent jobs, and now their plants are closed because you guys continue to just be led around the nose by your own ego. Frederick said, Whitworth has clearly shown himself to be incapable of solving the Mulvaney crisis. He's had multiple chances and he's failed. But he used to work for the CIA, so, you know, hey man, he's entrenched very, very deeply. The piece began with Frederick's noting the monetary loss suffered from the company in the wake of the Mulvaney partnership. After all, the beer company's decision to make trans activist Dylan Mulvaney the face of Bud Light has cost a staggering $20 billion and counting in lost market cap value. Mentioned how Mulvaney blasted the beer brand this week in an Instagram post. Yeah, we watched through all of it, and you didn't support me, and I like beer, but I'm not talking about one specific brand, just beer in general, and how bigots are coming after me. Not just zero self-awareness, but what else do you expect? Adding that Mulvaney did something Whitworth should have had the wisdom to do weeks ago. Cut ties. Exactly. Hey man, but Brendan Whitworth is just continuing to try to put a band-aid on a gunshot wound, a self-inflicted one at that. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo, and I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.